The Prime Minister has begun the job of selling her $1.8 billion flood levy, urging Australians to pull together in the face of the natural disaster. Julia Gillard has also called on the crossbenchers in the federal parliament to support the new tax. And while Ms Gillard admits the flood bill could be more than the estimated $5.6 billion, she's promised taxpayers will only pay the levy for 1 year. Stephanie Kennedy reports from Canberra.
The floods of 2011 are not over yet. Northwest Victoria is preparing for another flood peak. The slow-moving sea of water continues to threaten Swan Hill. And while levies might just hold back the floodwaters here, it's a different levy that has taxpayers divided by the waters.
It's one way of kicking in. I don't agree with it. I sort of think they get enough out of us.
In Canberra, the Prime Minister appealed to Australia's sense of mateship.
I think Australians around the country realise this is a time where we need to pull together. We are seeing a natural disaster of unprecedented economic proportions.
The mateship tax, well, really and truly, mates help each other, they don't tax each other.
4.8 million taxpayers will be hit by the year-long levy. Middle and high-income earners will pay between $1 and $5 a week. Flood victims and those on less than $50,000 are exempt.
The money from the levy and the budget cutbacks will rebuild vital economic infrastructure, the bridges, the roads, the rail, the ports that have been damaged by floodwaters.
The levy will raise $1.8 billion, and the government's rescue package includes slashing Commonwealth spending by $3.8 billion and deferring infrastructure projects worth another $1 billion. The levy is a potentially unpopular decision, but it comes with this promise.
The levy will be a 1-year levy as announced. That's it. Full stop. If the bill rises, we will make budget cutbacks as necessary.
And Julia Gillard made the pledge repeatedly.
I wanted to assure Australians, and I offer them that assurance again, this is a temporary one-off levy. It will be there for 12 months, and that is all.
But the opposition isn't so sure.
I think that this could easily become a permanent tax increase from the Rudd-Gillard government.
Without coalition support, the government will have to rely on the Independents and the Greens to pass the levy legislation through the Parliament. The Greens are angry with cuts to carbon schemes, and the Independents are holding out, demanding a broader permanent disaster fund rather than a one-off levy. Parliament resumes early next month, and Julia Gillard will need all her negotiating skills to persuade the Greens and the Independents to pass the levy through both houses. Stephanie Kennedy, ABC News, Canberra.